My friend Deborah and I are on this ship, the Queen of Scandinavia, to make a visit to Amsterdam. And as the ship sails towards the ferry terminal, we have just got time to enjoy breakfast in one of the spacious restaurants. After leaving the ship, we boarded the coach that is to take us to our hotel. It was a pleasant surprise to discover that we were to be driven by a lady driver. After moving the coach a few yards, she left in a hurry. Within seconds of her leaving, another coach pulled out of the car park and passed our vehicle with only a few inches to spare. For a moment, all us passengers expected a collision. As the driver's position on our coach was first to possibly be hit, I don't blame the lady for getting out of the way. Seriously though, I don't think that's the reason she left. The lady turned out to be an excellent driver, and she ignored the jibes and taunts directed to her by a bunch of English lager louts, who obviously spent the voyage in the bar. Eventually somebody told the louts to shut up or walk. They saw sense and shut up. The Hotel Ibis, which is to be our home for a while, is situated in a narrow street, so the coach dropped us a distance away. The hotel overlooks this bicycle park, which provides parking space for over 2,000 cycles. The bike parking turn overlooks a major canal, which provides the starting point for many boat tours. These dining boats provide a 3-course evening meal with wine during a 2.5-hour tour of all the canals in Amsterdam for £50 per head. Across this bridge from the hotel is a wide street simply called Damrak. This street starts very near the central railway station and ends at Dam Square, which is the location of the Royal Palace. This is a bustling thoroughfare which provides something for everybody, including this sex museum. This purports to chronicle the history and sexual deviations throughout the ages. You may be surprised to know that more women visit the museum than men. These explicit presentations are displayed outside the museum, and it would seem that the artist had a vivid imagination. However, Amsterdam is not all sex, booze and drugs. Although these activities are well known, the city has fine museums, theatres and many excellent musicians. Some of those musicians perform along Damrak, and the instruments they play are quite varied, as well as some being very novel. This is the only Dutch organ we could find, and it's a bit different from the traditional street organ, which was operated by a man turning a handle while his monkey made faces at the audience. This elaborately ornate mobile organ is operated by a small petrol engine. Damrak is also the starting point for most of the coach tour operators. We have chosen a trip to Volendam and Marken, two former fishing villages.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and welcome to you, of course. And listen, before we start, I would like to quickly present ourselves here in the front of the bus, because I'm told that that's the decent way to do things, right? Although some of you have had the bad luck to come for me for this. And the last two stops will be over in Marken and Volendam, two former fishing villages in the coast of the former Southern Sea. Everybody okay so far? Ladies and gentlemen, as far as I could check...
But our first port of call is a clog making workshop.
There's some more people coming in. Welcome in our wooden shoe workshop. I'll show you how to make a wooden shoe in 3 languages. It's too many people. Fresh wood is used. About half of the weight is water. When the wood is green, it's relatively easy to shape. The traditional way was done by hand. Take a big knife, do the outside of the shoe, then take spoon scoops, various shapes, various sizes to take out the inside. Yeah? To make a pair by hand was about 2 hours work. With the machines, we'll do a little shoe in 5 minutes. Okay? So, the machine, 70 years old, duplicating lathe. We have made a model for this size shoe, copy it over to the other side. 3 knives will do the work for it. The outside done. The inside is done in the same way. Also here we work off of a template. The shape of the shoe top. Now the heel and toe will cut off by hand. Now they do look quite big. We wear them with a thick woolen sock. Hold the level maar 1 finger space should fit behind. This way they move without rubbing. They are a shoe that are predominantly worn outside. A point on the shoe was worn by fishermen. For them to repair the netting was easily done. Stick the point of the shoe in and you're left with your 2 hands free to do the work. Practical solutions for everyday problems. Try some on. Thank you very much for your attention.
Our next stop is Volendam, which since the European market has ruined the fishing is now a prosperous tourist mecca. The harbour is surrounded by all the usual trappings, bars, cafes and gift shops. Our coach leaves us here, and from the harbourside bars all the water activity can be viewed whilst imbibing in icy cold drinks. From here we embark on a boat to ferry us across the famous Zuider Zee to the one-time island of Markham. Strictly speaking, it's not an island anymore, as the Dutch have built a dike with a road to connect Markham to the mainland. Once a prosperous fishing village, Markham is now a quiet retreat. The tour guide leads the tourists through the narrow streets lined with typically attractive Dutch houses. Finally, we are reunited with our coach, which has travelled ahead of us, and so we're back to Amsterdam. It's now evening, and so it's time to have dinner before darkness falls. Night time sees Damrak just as busy as in daylight. A nice way to finish the day is to walk the length of Damrak to Dam Square and visit the beautifully lit fairground. Where else in the world would a noisy fairground be allowed outside a royal palace? But that's Amsterdam, liberated in every way. And you know, we've never seen any drunks, we've never seen any violence, we even haven't seen any police. The unwritten law here seems to be, do what you must, but do it in private. And it seems to work.